Well, I think start of the game, we have to be better. And I give Bethune-Cookman a lot of credit because the reason why we didn't start as well is because of them. I thought they got off to a great start, and we had to really rally back, based on that. And I was really proud of our guys, especially in the second half, because that's difficult. You're down by double digits in the second half. The way our guys responded, that first 8 minutes to chip away at that lead says a lot about who they are. I thought they played with a lot of, a lot more in energy. I thought they played with a lot more passion, and it was a really good win for us.
You think maybe they were just lacking in the beginning of the game, just the focus and effort maybe wasn't where it needed to be?
Well, I like to always, give the other team credit. There's a reason why certain things don't work out in games, and usually it has something to do with the other team's plan, their strategy, and definitely, I think we have to also, play with more energy to start off a game. We can't come out there without the right type of energy and enthusiasm and expect to win basketball games. This is Division I ball. Everybody's good. They've lost some games in a row, but I've watched a lot of their games. They've played a lot of teams very well, and they've been in a lot of games. And they're an older team. They have 4 seniors who start on that team. And so when you have that type of team right there, they've seen everything. They've been in hostile environments. They've been in all kind of arenas. They're going to come in here ready to compete. And then I think our guys kind of had to warm up into that, and that's something that should never happen.
When Colin gets into that foul trouble, what do you want to see the rest of the team do, and how do you want to see them respond?
When he gets in foul trouble, I think we need to just play with more poise. I think when he's off the floor, we still have to understand we're a good basketball team. We have to still play off each other. We have to understand, we're still going to play to our strengths. We're a ground and pound basketball team. That's the way we term it. And we want to continue to ground and pound, which means we want to get the ball inside to our guys that are open inside, regardless of who they are. It just happens to be Collins, our best low post player, but it doesn't matter to us. It's a style of play that we have, and I think sometimes we get away from that when he goes out the game.
No, sometimes you're just making, sometimes you just get hot shooting. In the second half, you guys got hot shooting, but specifically with Colin and Dazon, the way they played in the second half, after not playing much in the first half due to foul trouble, what did you think of their contribution?
I thought in the second half, both of their contributions were great, considering, like you said, they set out so much in the first half. It's hard to get a rhythm, and I didn't bring either one of those guys back in the first half, so they sat for the extended period of time. So they showed some maturity to come back and play the way they played. I thought Dazon start to the second half was one of his best starts to a half this year for us. He really set a tone by getting to the basket, finishing. He found guys in transition, and he really rallied us, which was really good. And I thought Colin was Colin. Colin, once he's on the floor, he's going to produce. And so once he was able to get to extended minutes, of course, his production is going to be there, which it was.
What do you hope the team learns from this game as we head into one last tough non-conference game and then conference play after that?
Well, hopefully we learn that, it's the 40 minutes. And you have to play for the full 40. You can't go out there and think you're going to work your way into a game or warm yourself up into a game. You have to be ready right from the tip because your opponent, 99 times out of 10 is going to be ready to go. And then I think that's the biggest lesson is that, how do we prepare? And how do we prepare and how do we come out, right in that first 4-minute segment to set a tone? And I thought today we didn't set that tone at all.
You needed Caesar tonight, didn't you, to step up the way he did?
No, definitely. I thought Caesar had another really good game, especially in the second half as well. I thought he really got to the basket, made plays for himself and others, and I'm happy for him because he's kind of found a rhythm, and that's a good thing for a player. I know how it is being in that situation myself. It's a good feeling. He's in a good place right now. We just want to keep him there.
In that first half, when Dazon was in foul trouble, you had Tony Johnson out there for 11 minutes, which actually tied his season high. What did you see from him as you gave him an extended run?
Tony's going to be fine. He has some good looks. I mean, he's a very good shooter. He just hadn't seen it go in yet at this level. But I think once he does, like most of the players in his situation, it's going to open up for him. And I thought he did a good job. I thought he handled the ball fine for us. He handled their pressure because, number one, he's one of the best on-ball defenders that we faced all year. I thought he took the challenge and handled the ball well against him. And I was overall fine with his performance.
You've got the one non-conference game left, but how do you think the schedule you built has prepared you for that and then the start of conference play?
I think it's prepared us for conference play. I think we've had a good balance of teams that we faced. I mean, we tried to face, based on having the guys that we have this year on our team, we tried to put a schedule together as challenging as we could for our group. And by that I'm saying, we couldn't play everyone because not everybody wants to play you. And so the teams we were able to play were teams that we figured all are expected to do well in their leagues for the most part, all expected to be in the top half of their leagues or higher. I mean, Bethune-Cookman's supposed to win their league. they're projected to win their conference. I think 2 years ago they won it. They're projected to win it again this year. They have 4 seniors in the lineup, so we knew it was going to be a heck of a contest. Even though it'd be a team that people think, well, they may not be as good an opponent, but we knew they'd be a great opponent for us, and they were. They did not disappoint. They came in to win. And then, of course, Oklahoma, a Power 5 school. We've played Miami. We've played, in the tournament in California with a number of really good teams out there. I think we prepared ourselves well for conference play. Now we have to one more game before we start conference. We need to go out and play well.
What's your expectation for Saturday? What do you expect from Oklahoma?
I hadn't had a chance to see Oklahoma, but I always know, Coach Kruger. He's a terrific coach. They'll be well prepared. We plan on their home court. They'll be, they're going to compete. They're going to be, like I said, well coached. That's what I expect from them.
But because that game is the lead into your conference slate, it sort of feels like this is kind of the start of conference season because that's the quality of competition you'll be facing.
Absolutely. There you go. And so it's a great way to end the preseason for us against a team like that's going to be comparable to the teams we're going to face in our conference. And so it's a good way, like you said, to get started, playing a team, especially not just playing a team of that caliber, but playing them at their place. So I think it's a great way to kind of find out kind of where we are, and it's a good lead into our conference schedule.
Can you talk about you guys stepping up on defense in the second half? You guys up to 16% shooting from three in the second half. What do you guys do differently?
We really, I think we just made a more concerted effort to kind of lock in defensively. I thought in the first half, we were all over the place. We talked about the game plan and where we should be defensively, and we were too loose. Our attention to detail was really not there in the first half. But I thought our guys really, found their way in the second half, understood what we wanted to do defensively, guard the guys hard that we felt were dangerous, and maybe, played off of some guys to support some of our players, that wasn't big scores for them. At one point, we were guarding everybody like they were the same player, and that's hard to do. You have to know who you're guarding, what the game plan says, and you have to go out there and execute. And we didn't execute it well at all in the first half.